At the onset of the pandemic, or ECQ, people have pretty much cleared off the streets and off the malls. But one thing's for sure, people still keep eating, people still keep shopping, but now they're just doing it online. Last May, it was reported that internet traffic had gone up at least 15%. And while this may seem so high tech, we're still living in a community where authenticity matters.
Yeah, well, I'm Donna and I'm from South Snippets. And South Snippets is an online community of Southies. We call them Southies because
Southies, huh?
yeah, we call each
Including
other.
myself. I
Yeah,
live in
'cause
the
you're
deep
from the
south.
We cover Muntinlupa, Las Piñas, Parañaque,
Uh-huh.
yes. But of course, we have adopted Cavite, Laguna, Batangas even.
When you say that you live down south,
Mm,
or when you live in the south, they kind of think that you live somewhere in Parañaque. That's no longer the case, is it?
no, not
How do you
longer
define the
the
south
case.
now?
It really started with the south of Metro Manila. So South Metro Manila, that's what we really started off as our turf, maybe you can say turf. And so South Snippets is an online community of Saudis, residents, people who live here in the south of Metro Manila, plus, of course, neighboring provinces, Cavite, Laguna, and Batangas. This community is here to promote, positive online discussions, valuable discussions, supporting local businesses. We're very big on that. And of course, supporting fellow Saudis in a sense that when they have questions, when they have things that they need help with within the community, then fellow Saudis come together to provide that support. Our community of Saudis is right around 70,000 strong combined.
And how did this all come about?
We started in 2012, and it was an idea
2012.
it was an idea of one of my partners, Yanni. We used to work together in Alabang. As a group of friends, we were very active on Twitter, and then Yanni had this idea, like we noticed that in the South, we don't get a lot of updates then,
Yes.
especially with traffic, weather, or, just stuff happening, events or news updates.
Yes.
We never get that.
Not on
we
digital.
Yes, digital.
Yes.
Exactly, right. We would only get news updates or traffic updates, yung Commonwealth traffic or EDSA, that's the
Kailan ba hindi?
Exactly. But then if you've lived in the South, you would know then that the traffic is pretty bad along Alabang Zapote Road too, but we don't get updates like that.
And I think there are specific problems. Are there specific traffic problems when it comes to the south?
Yes.
Because if a truck turns over along South
exactly.
Superhighway, we're pretty much paralyzed.
Exactly.
But we don't get that news.
Yeah, we didn't then. We didn't. He said, why don't we create this particular page or create this particular Twitter account that we provide updates like, anything that's happening here.
Yeah, like a truck turnover. That's important news to us.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we pretty much recognized. We weren't getting a service. So we said, let's do that. Let's offer that service. Back then, we didn't know what it would come about or what would result from that idea. We just thought that it had a lot of potential. Whenever we go to work, we would take photos or videos and then, tweet it. And then it just grew and grew. The community grew. So more and more people started following us. And the magic really is that our fellow Saudis were the ones providing us the information real time.
So it's almost like a citizen reporting. Huh?
Exactly. We experienced stuff like Yolanda. That's pretty really devastating. But that's where we really flourish as a community. We sometimes do 24-hour shifts because, when there's a typhoon and when the pandemic happened, because the information was just overwhelming.
I remember during the beginning of the year that Tal volcano erupted, and that's something that was very specific to Saudis.
Yes, we did. And we did provide updates. We were also there to support those affected during that particular tragedy. So we were there with some of our fellow Saudis, donated goods and stuff
Yes.
like that.
During the onset of the eruption, when there was a lot of ash,
Mm,
there was sort of like that whole Bayanihan movement that that came together, and even the residents were actually trying to clean off the windshields off of cars. I
yes,
mean, that was that
yes,
was
that was
a
cool.
and they weren't expecting any money from it.
Yeah, I
They were
know.
they were
I
doing it
know.
because they were just like fellow Filipinos. So a lot of them also like fellow Saudis,
Yeah.
and there was a real feeling of community. But besides news and updates, traffic or whatnot, right?
Mhm.
What else do you give updates on?
We also provide updates on, the latest restaurants that open or the newest hangouts. Since we've started our Instagram account, then we've provided content about food, lifestyle, travel, stuff like that. The rationale is it
Mhm.
should be within the South, it should be still relevant to Saudis.
And since 2012, what has been your key successes for running South Snippets?